I don't feel like there's much I can say about Persona 5 that hasn't been said a million different ways by a million different people on a million different YouTube videos. I could say that I thought the art style was amazing, the combat was fun and engaging, the story was awesome, the characters made me fall in love with them about 10 times over, and many of them have made their way to my favorite characters of all time list. But again, I feel like that's just repeating what other people have said ad nauseum, especially at this point, especially when the remake ish has already come out. So I guess instead, I'm just going to talk about my hot take, I guess. I don't know. Is it a hot take? People really like Akechi, so it might be. Anyway, this is a speed paint for a group picture I did. I've been trying to do weekly art uploads to my Instagram, DeviantArt, whatever other hellscape that's been abandoned by God and handed on to the algorithms, the basic stuff. Um, but this is the first one I recorded, and the first one I had something I want to talk about. It's mostly basic stuff for my coloring technique, so I don't really have much to talk about with the piece itself. I will interrupt myself when things come up, but mainly I just want to talk about how much I fucking hate Goro Akechi. Oh, that's a hot take, isn't it? Oh, he fucking sucks and I hate him, and I really don't have any other explanation except for this bare bones list that I have. Um, I really don't like how the story itself just reveals to you that he's the traitor. Like, this dude walks up in his fucking blazer, like, hello, my name is Traitor McTraitor Pants. Nice to meet you. I am your friend, and I will not sell you out to the cops. And everyone just nods along, like, yeah, he seems like a legit dude. He's the first person to speak out against the Phantom Thieves, and he's like, hey, the Phantom Thieves fucking suck. I really hate their mostly good sense of morality. Like, I don't know how you can take a hardline stance against something that is ultimately good. I know that they want to have this like gray sense of morality with what they're doing, but to make someone see the error of their ways and repent on their own terms, I don't think is something that should be portrayed as gray morality? And the fact that they have to have this character take a hardline stance against it just makes him more intolerable. And you know what? I'll never get a chance to say this, but he makes Death Note make less sense, because if I met fucking Light Yagami, Goro Akechi, whoever, and he came up to me with his fake ass personality and his fake ass smile, I would deck him so hard that I would be escorted out by the authorities. He's just such a fake person, and any charm that he pretends to have is completely non existent. Or maybe it just doesn't work on me. I don't know. Either way, not a fan. I would not be fooled. And the fact that literally everyone, except for this select group of people, is completely fooled by him completely just boggles me. I do not understand how someone who presents himself, like, it's amazing that you can present yourself as a nice person and also a fake person at the same time. I feel like you have to try harder to come across as that openly fake. It's really impressive in some ways, but completely and utterly just annoying in more ways. Oh god, this is a hot take. And before people come at me, I will say he does have some redeeming qualities, but I'm sorry in advance, because these redeeming qualities are just things that I wish were more in the story, and maybe they are in Persona 5 Royal. I don't know, I haven't really looked at it yet. A couple of people I'm subscribed to have been doing streams. I haven't had time because I still have to work from home. But his redeeming qualities, I really like how much of a tank he is, how his physical attacks especially are just so powerful compared to the rest of the team that I always had him in my group for the time that I had him. He was very valuable in that way, even if I didn't buy him any weapons, because I knew he was going to be leaving by the end of the chapter. His all-out attack, that little flourish he does, like his dumb pirouette and his pose at the camera, that was gorgeous. I love it. I love his over-the-top, ridiculous, balls-out nature. That, for me, was when he was at his most fun, his most entertaining, and his most likable. And to interrupt myself real quick, you're going to see me here struggling with soft shading, because what I did when I was sketching this out was I had like specific cutoff points for when I just didn't feel like drawing the rest of the arm. And I thought, I'll have a completely black background and I will kind of do a gradient into the shades of red into the background so it looks like the arm is there or the hand or whatever, but it's really just fading out. But I forgot how bad I am at soft shading. And so you're going to see me struggling with that for a while before I give up and just go to my usual hard shading, which I think is better for the cartoony style, and it lends itself better to the rim lighting that I'm going to be using in a bit. But overall, there's just a long interim period of me struggling with how to make blending work, and I always feel like that's painful to watch. But Goro Akechi, right? He's over the top in a way that I find entertaining. Again, I feel it's the Light Yagami reference coming in where he's just completely off the shits. He's crazy, he's loving it, he's being evil, and he's aware of it. Those are the times where I thought he was the most fun, when we get to see his true colors right before the boss battle. Those were the portrayals of Akechi that I valued most and thought were the most entertaining. But the thing is that we get to see that so little, and instead get to see the fake persona almost until the very end, that made him so intolerable for me, I guess. Um, like, when he comes in with a gun and shoots you, and that raises your confidant level, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen. I woke my dogs up because I was howling with laughter at that part. That's amazing. But that is so little of what we see of him that it almost doesn't feel like the real Akechi, even though it is the real Akechi. So what we see is just a persona, a mask, more references to the game, It never feels like we're seeing his true self. And honestly, that's the worst part. And I don't need the reveal to be sooner. I don't need the reveal to happen at all. But if we got hints of this throughout, like, I feel like it would make his character that much more engaging. But instead, he just feels like this plain, uninspired antagonist that kind of pushes you throughout the game, but not really. And that's not to say that, I completely hate him or that I wanted him gone, because I did feel bad when he revealed his entire story. I do think it's quite the tragedy, but at the same time, he was there overly complicating an already ridiculously overcomplicated story at that point. So it was very hard to see any conflict he brought to the table as changing the story in a meaningful way. That's the bones of my point, and I feel like I'm gonna get torn apart on Twitter for this, maybe. I don't know. I don't go on Twitter, really. Eh. I will say that I tried to be mean to him at every opportunity. I always picked the meanest dialogue option, which unfortunately was never mean enough. I never hung out with him to raise his confidant level, which might be part of why I don't appreciate him so much, but, in the end, it didn't matter, and it saved me time, because once he joined the team, he just bumped up to level 6 anyway, so it's not like I really missed something, and I'll probably go back and be just as unimpressed as I am right now. I don't know, just really don't like him. Least favorite Persona character, Persona 5 character at least. Super unappealing, not really charming, very punchable face. I will say that his little character sprite, whenever his talk sprite, I guess, it was always just sitting right there, just begging to be punched. And that's my last thought on the matter. Oh. Okay, so we're wrapping up right now with some yellow rim lighting, which I think looks very nice because I stole it from the Persona poster that is my background. As usual, thank you very much for watching. I'm glad you spent some time with me to listen to me rant about Persona things that don't matter. I have some on my socials right here if you want to go check them out. Once again, thank you for watching, and bye!